Shit.
Whatever we do, change is coming. It's coming with the implosion of our
Sort of
with the rapid degradation of our ecosystem itself. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. How will we cope with this change? Will we respond rationally? Will we learn to speak to the world with a new humility and recreate the structures within our own communities for sustainability? Or will we continue to live in illusion? And in a way, it's a matter of awakening ourselves to reality and responding to it.
Well, it's another episode of the worst damn show on the internet. God damn, I hope you guys are ready for this shit. Yeah. If you're not ready for this shit, that's alright. We're in. I think I got it working. I had to do some shit. What is going on to you folks out there? Oh, yeah. Anyways. Hi. What are you guys doing? I haven't been around in a while. That may or may not have something to do with me getting the old strikes, but I figured I'd take a break, you know. Everybody needs to take a break sometimes. It's not like I need to be here or anything, you know. It's not like I do this shit for money or anything like that. Although, you know, right now I'm still setting shit up, as you can see, because, you know, like, I don't care, you know, you just gotta, like, work yourself through. You gotta do that shit, and then, you know, you just don't worry about it. All right, I got my alerts in, I got this shit, you know, it's like, you think you got everything, and then you're just like, oh, fuck, I had to get everything back again. So, yeah, what up? Welcome back. We got strike, that's why we were here. I mean, I figured it would be pretty clear to anybody out there. Like, it was just like back to back. So we cleared out everything from the channel, and we're starting sort of fresh. Although I think we're on episode 34. We have lost a couple episodes due to, I'm just gonna say, you know, operations of gayness. That's how I'm gonna put it. It was because of operations of gayness. Anyways, I miss you guys. I've been hanging out. Lunchy's out front right now. She wanted to go outside and run around in the nice outside air, so I allowed her to do so. So she ain't here with me right now. But this show's not really about Lunchy, you know? It's not really about Lunchy. It's about, you know, making money, making the proverbial dollars, right? That's what we got to be doing nowadays. Making that money. Although, it doesn't seem to be going that great. But that's alright, you know? We all get times. We all get chances to do what we want. Yeah, we all get chances to do what we want. And the funny thing is throughout all of this stuff, we've never actually gotten, like, we haven't had a single problem on Twitch. Through all of our bullshit, Twitch has just never said a word to us. And you know why? It's because they look at me and they're like, dude, we have way bigger problems to deal with than your fat ass. So we're just gonna leave you alone. Just make sure you ain't running around calling people words that you're not allowed to be calling them, and we're cool, okay? We're cool, okay? So cool. You know, it's weird. I had problems on D-Live. I've had problems on YouTube. Never had any problems on Twitch, but, you know, I'm just there. So, you know, we're on we've had problems on YouTube. So we gotta be PC. We gotta do everything right. We gotta focus our videos on specific topics, you know, not talk about information or not talk about that disinformation. We're not allowed to fight against, you know, people's lies in the internet or any of that shit. You know, we ain't allowed to do none of that shit. So, like, what do we do? You know, the question is if we're not allowed to like live stream and investigate shit as it's happening and stuff, you know, like what are we supposed to do? I don't know. But what I do know is that somebody took a picture of Jupiter with that newfangled JWST satellite telescope thingy. You know, the mirrored contraption that everybody was like, oh man, what are they using that thing for? Well, they took a picture of Jupiter. That's what it looks like. That's a real ass picture of a planet, guys. That should make you feel really inspired. If not, if anything, do you see the atmosphere around Jupiter? You see the auroras down here. You see the auroras up here. But then you see this blue line going all the way around. That, my friends, is what you call an atmosphere. Meaning that there's a visible atmosphere on Jupiter. Now, I know what you're thinking. All you flat earthers out there that are telling me the earth is flat as shit. Whatever, dude. But, like, they edit out the atmosphere from pictures of the earth because they don't want people seeing the little thin sheen that keeps us all, you know, live, breathing, and shit. They don't want people to see that. But I just thought that this was a beautiful picture because you can see the rings of Jupiter, you can see some moons, you can see the footprint of where Io is supposed to be. I mean, this is some amazing shit, dude. This is just some next level space stuff. And then it makes you wonder, I wonder what the Earth looks like if they were to turn it around and take a picture of the Earth. What would the Earth look like if they took a picture with that thing? I'm sure we're going to see that here coming up pretty soon. Maybe I'm giving you a little bit of a spoiler alert right there, if you know what I mean, because, you know, I pull that kind of shit all the time. But here's another amazing photograph of Jupiter. It is just, I mean, I would say it was heavenly, but it's not quite the right word for it. I mean, that just looks crazy as fuck. Like, do you see that right there? Do you see this little thing? Do you see that? Do you see that atmosphere? That shit thick, boy. She thick. I mean, Jupiter's big, man, but that atmosphere, you know, that makes me, like, really, really, like, my heart beating a little fasty or whatever, because if there's an atmosphere on Jupiter that's that big, then there's definitely atmosphere on the moons, bro. That's crazy if you think about it, because, you know, we're all looking for alien life and shit on other worlds, and I mean, it could possibly just be orbiting Jupiter. That's some crazy shit, man. That's some crazy shit. And I don't know, I was reading the One Punch Man Magna comic on the internet or whatever, and they had Jupiter in it. And that guy, the way he drew it and colored it or whatever, looks exactly like this. And he did it before he saw this picture, which is just absolutely insanely amazing when you really, really think about it. But that's okay. I mean, that's just a fucking planet. It's a stupid ass planet. Nobody gives a shit about that. Everybody came for real news, right? You got y'all coming for real news. The Biden White House facilitated DOJ's criminal probe against Trump, scuttled privilege claims in memos. What? I therefore have decided not to honor the former president's predictive claim of privilege, says acting national activist Deborah Seidel Law wrote Trump's team in May. What? Was this all about the raid? I think this is about the raid.
Obtained correspondence between various parties during the lead up to the raid, showing that the Biden White House, that's right, Joe Biden's White House, the one that said they had nothing to do with this, they were deeply involved in the early instigation of the criminal probe against President Trump, including clearing the way for the President Trump's claim of executive privilege to be eviscerated. Basically, getting rid of his executive privilege before he could contest it. That occurred just before a grand jury started delivering subpoenas looking for the records. So for the first time, we now have evidence that Joe Biden's White House was in the middle of this right from the start, way before the Mar-a-Lago raid, even before a grand jury delivered a subpoena to the president in May of this year. We're going to have more of that as the show goes along. But first, we're going to bring in from the phone, because we have so much breaking news, Congressman Jim Jordan, the ranking Republican on the House Judiciary Committee, and the man who will be chairman next year if Republicans take control of Congress. Congressman, good to have you.
So John Solomon on Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice. Who is that supposed to be? Is that Steve Bannon's platform? Shit. Damn it. Well, I would have to say that right now this is probably a whole bunch of fake news, but I guess if we actually see physical copies of the memos,
on the show, sir.
Cool, right?
Good to be with you, John. That's
Jim
that,
Jordan?
That is
Wait.
amazing news.
Who the? Interesting.
That's the case. But
who's
yeah,
she?
good to be with you today.
Yeah, this is important stuff. This is a letter that the National
I might have to start
Archives
watching
sent to
Real
President
America's
Trump's
Voice.
lawyers on
Not for that
May
fat
10th.
fuck,
And
but
what
for
it
that
shows, Congressman,
beautiful.
is that back in April, the White House approved sending the 15 boxes that Donald Trump had at his home to the FBI.
Why does he look so weird? Why does John Solomon look like he's an alien wearing a human skin? I'm not being facetious or anything like that. I'm just pointing it out that when I look at him right there, he's got a lot of like red splotchiness going on or whatever. I mean, I don't have any proof or anything. It's a feeling.
Initiating the criminal investigation.
It's a feeling that
and then a few weeks later saying, the archives, you can waive President Trump's privilege. The President Biden will not protect his privilege. Go ahead and do it if you want. And that allowed a grand jury to drop a subpoena in the President Trump's team not to.
Wait. Oh, shit. They have receipts. God damn. On April 11th, the White House counsel's office, affirming the request of the Department of Justice supported by an FBI letterhead memorandum, formally transmitted a request that the NARA provide the FBI access to the 15 boxes for its review within 7 days, within the possibility the FBI might request copies of specific documents following its reviews.
To be able to contest the subpoena using executive privilege. We have that letter. We showed a little bit on screen here. Your thoughts of the Biden.
All right, John, I got it, though, but bring the girl back.
White House being in the middle of this right from the
pig.
start.
Well, I guess it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, you remember we had heard it been reported that the Attorney General had deliberated for weeks. So during that time, if he's deliberating on what to do and whether they're actually going to have the raid on President Trump's home, it seemed likely to me that he'd talk with the White House, because remember, this is the same Justice Department and same White House who coordinated with the school board, National School Boards Association, before they in fact initiated the letter as the pretext for the Biden administration taking the action against moms and dads that they took last fall. And as far as we know, and basically according to what whistleblowers have told us on that issue, they continue to do. So it shouldn't surprise us that
oh boy. Well, is that like the new big news? Because I feel like today was a big news day for this whole, Trump got raided by the White House and everybody's like, talking shit about that and shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is not good. Or maybe it is good. It's not good, I feel like, for the White House or the Democrats, because, I mean, whenever somebody gets raided like this, I feel like it just puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And, it kind of makes even more sense considering that today it's being reported on multiple news outlets that the judge, the evil Jeffrey Epstein judge, is this the Jeffrey Epstein judge guy? I don't know. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. I'm just kind of like, trying to pull this stuff out of my ass. But judge leaves open the possibility of redactions in the Mar-a-Lago affidavit may make it, what is that? Meaningless? Judge Bruce Reinhardt has rejected an argument from the Department of Justice and admitted the FBI's raid on former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate was unprecedented. Ooh. So we might actually be able to get ourselves a little peek-see at what's getting released in the memo or the affidavit, the warrant, whatever the hell they had, whether they used to go raid Trump's house. And I guess if we're to believe what John Solomon is saying and what Representative Jim Jordan is saying, or is he a representative or is he a senator? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is that they're the ones that are saying that everybody was already perfectly aware of all of these quote-unquote classified documents that were being held under lock and key at the behest of the FBI at Trump's estate. You know, like, they're the ones that are saying that they kind of already knew. The White House had some involvement in it. The White House is out there saying, like, man, we didn't have no involvement on it. We didn't know shit, man. Yet, here we are, you know, Donald Trump's the one that's, you know, again, getting the bad or the short end of the stick, so to speak. And I mean, honestly, how short could the stick be? At least he gets to go, you know, be at home with Melania Trump. Sure, she might not love him anymore and live on the other side of the house, but at least he still gets to say that hot piece of ass is his. Woo! But, I mean, it's really strange when you hear from different places that judges citing public and historical interests, in particular when looking at this specific case, is very similarly to what we are hearing about this whole unprecedented thing, because, you know, this shit's never happened, right? Like, it's never happened in the history of the United States. But Donald Trump's a super bad man and we need to fuck him, right? Yeah, let's get him! Let's get him! But is it weird that Bruce Reinhardt is like, all right, we're going to let it come through, but it's going to have some redactions, but your total argument about this not being able to be shown is just complete and utter bullshit, right? I mean, it's what I thought it was when I first looked into it, but at the same time, these people have been doing this type of shit for a long time. Yeah, very, very long time. Accordingly, it's hereby ordered that by the deadline, the government shall file under a seal submission addressing possible redactions and providing any additional evidence or legal argument that the government believes relevant to the pending motions to unseal. Woo! Then Reinhardt will receive those redactions and determine how best to proceed in the interest of transparency for everybody out there, because, you know, some of us want to know why. You know, why did the president get effed? Why did they raid the president? Whose idea was it? Are they trying to take him down? Are they trying to stop his ass before he gets started to get in that 2024 run? Because I know a lot of people out there would just be like, you know, they'd be going pretty nuts if they heard that Trump was running again. I mean, don't you guys remember back in 2016 how fucking crazy they get? Do you really think that having Trump running again as the president in 2024 is what America fucking needs? Because, like, they're going to riot, dude. They're going to storm the Capitol. They're going to do all of this shit. You know, it's scary to me. It's scary to me. So, I don't know. I'm still kind of, like, hoping that Ron DeSantis ends up being the guy just so that we can get away from this thing. Because, you know, all of the future casting that I'm doing and the predictions that we have running forward just kind of show it right now. If things don't really change, or if we don't see a lot of good news coming up soon, we could be in a really, really shit position. But I would say that we have at least 111 days before we even have to worry about that type of shit. Yeah. So, if the judges are rejecting these requests from the DOJ, does that mean that the DOJ had a problem with what they were trying to do? I mean, isn't it even weirder that the judge, Bruce Reinhardt, has decided that he doesn't want to have to deal with a completely... Maybe there's something even more happening. Maybe he's wanting to come clean. Maybe he wants to come clean. Maybe he wants to do the right thing. Dude, if the judge in this case all of a sudden ends up dead, man, Hillary Clinton, I'm fucking looking at you, bitch. I'm looking at you, bitch. You know I'm looking at you, bitch, okay? So, oh wait, that's not right. But a lot of people were having some, like, shit fits or whatever earlier today when that shit got filed. It appears Trump's legal team has filed an SDFL cause listed for motion for judicial review, although the document is not available yet. So, yeah, there's supposed to be some kind of document. Donald Trump versus the United States government. But what does that say? Donald J. Trump? Does that say pro se? Yeah, it does say pro se. Donald Trump be representing himself in court? Or did somebody, like, write all of his legal files and then he went and filed that shit himself? Because I find it really hard to believe that Donald Trump's going to be headed down to a courtroom and, you know, like, filing some paperwork and shit with the court. I just don't. I fail to see that happening in my brain. But some other people say, like, pro se, Trump's going it alone, which is really weird because this is the third thing, right? This isn't the first or second. So, like, we had news that apparently there was some memos that definitely leaked the White House to the DOJ raid, and then we have the judge in the whole entire thing saying, yeah, we're not gonna not put it out. It's gotta come out. You gotta send me your redactions. Let me know what's going on. And then on top of all of that stuff, Trump be dropping a lawsuit on somebody, although nobody actually has seen the text of it yet, but I'm sure that it's gonna be a banger for sure. I mean, honestly, there's going to be Twitter threads about it for like the next 3 weeks where people are going to be losing their absolute minds. And I'm going to be like hanging out, just checking some shit out. We're just kind of wondering because, it's a weird day, right? Like, we got 3 things that have happened Trump-wise in one day, and it's like they all seem to kind of coincide together, right? Like, we got this affidavit that he just filed, or this case that he's just going with. We got the judge saying that, yes, they have to give him redactions, and yeah, it's gonna go out. And it just doesn't make any sense, right? Like, the world's not this easy, is it? Right? Is it? I hope not. But what I do hope is, like, as somebody says in the chat right now, it would be pretty interesting to see that footage from the FBI raid, because it's very counterpoint to what we were seeing from the January 6th raids, like they had to like black hole all that shit. Trump should just release all that shit on like Rumble or some shit, just let everybody watch it. That would be pretty awesome. I mean, it's probably boring as fuck, but you know what? I know some frog out there somewhere is going to be scrubbing through that footage to find the one little bit of footage where all the FBI agents are up in Melania Trump's underwear drawer just like... you know what I'm saying? It's in there. I have a feeling that it's in there, My brain's telling me that there's an 88% chance that they got at least one guy on footage sniffing some panties. I'm just saying. They were clean ones, so it probably smelled like, fabric softener or some shit. I don't exactly know what ladies do with their undergarments, but, I could guess. But I guess people have actually talked about what is happening with the affidavit or this new lawsuit that's being filed. Trump is seeking an independent review of the doxies by the FBI during the Mar-a-Lago search. And maybe this is the same thing. Maybe this lawsuit against the United States government has something to do with it. Or maybe this is a fourth thing. That's probably what we're actually going to be looking at. But yeah, it's a little bit different when you think about the whole privilege aspect.
To explain America, I'm your host, Carmine Sabia, and there is major happenings at the CNN network as it looks like the station is on the verge of possibly a catastrophic collapse. Stay tuned. We're about to get into it. Folks, before we get started,
I'm more entertaining than this guy, right? We look exactly the same. Both fat, both bald. He's obviously got a more full beard than I do. I'll give him that, but like...
to ask you to please like, comment, and share this video.
Also, please like, comment, and share this video. It helps us in the algorithm like I give a fuck about the algorithm.
Subscribe if you can, because we're trying to bring you the news every single day that the mainstream media and social media want.
Come on, dude. He's got a signed picture of Clarence Thomas in the background. What do I got? I got some bullshit over there, and I got some gun things on the wall.
Want to suppress from you. Only way we can keep doing that is if you keep watching us, you keep sharing it, you keep getting into it. So we really appreciate the feedback from you guys so far. Please let us know how we're doing. And like I said, just keep supporting us. We'll keep bringing you the news. On Friday, it was reported.
These aren't real glasses, by the way. They're just blue light glasses so that, I can sleep at night or whatever. Because I used to have those Gunnar glasses, but I broke the shit out of them.
That Brian
I broke the shit out of them. I mean, I broke the shit out of him. I stepped on him and like exploded everywhere.
Affectionately referred to by some as Mr. Potato Head, would be leaving CNN. Would be leaving. So they didn't say the word fired. They didn't say he got canned. They didn't say he got the axe. They just said,
we're a minute into this thing. This guy has not told me anything about this Trump thing. Particularly, in a Monday morning filing, the government is arguing, blah, 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 blah. So, I guess we have our understanding as to what is happening with old Orange Man Bad and how they're dealing with him, at least in this particular aspect, which I thought was kind of strange, actually. You know, I felt like they were going to be doing a lot more with Trump. I thought they were going to be doing a lot more with, like, this entire situation, but they're not. It seems like they're taking the easiest roads that have the least amount of resistance for them, and overall it doesn't really seem to be that effective, because it's almost like they're just trying to embolden his base coming up into the midterms, because they clearly do not want him running in that 2024 bullshit. It's kind of crazy, actually. And, oh, thanks, Growing with Wally. We appreciate that shit, bro. Appreciate that shit, dog. Appreciate that shit. But that's not even it for the news today. I think the other big thing here is that the Trump legal team is also filing another case, which is crazy. We're up to 5 different things that are happening in this whole situation. Apparently, they're seeking a special master for independent review of records seized at Mar-a-Lago. And I guess that really coincides with the last thing, but you can see that this is actually a different case. This is 22 CV 81294 AMC, which is actually not the same document on the docket that we still haven't seen from the court just yet. This is actually a different one that was filed by his legal team. So, like, Trump went in as a pro se litigant on one case against the United States government, and he also has his legal team fighting another case. So it's a lot of different things that are happening. Yeah. It's a lot of different things that are happening all the time. And it says, President Donald J. Trump movement through the undersigned council respectfully files this motion for judicial oversight and additional relief, which seeks an order and appoints a special manager that enjoins further review of seized materials by the government until a special master is appointed, requires government to provide more detailed receipt for property, and requires government to return any item seized that is not within the scope of the search warrant, and states as follows. Growing with water. That's a picture of us with the strawberries? When the fuck do we ever take pictures with the strawberries? That shit. You know I'm allergic to strawberries, right? One of those little fucking seeds touches the back of my little dingly in the back of my throat. That's why I always drink the fake strawberry shit, because, you know, I like strawberries, but I can't. It's not smart. It's not smart. So, I guess this is kind of cool, right? We got some things, like the Trumpinator's actually doing some Trumpinating, right? What's this? And that's fine, or whatever. It's cool. It's cool. The Trumpinator is doing this thing. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening, but then again, still not the biggest news of the day. I think that probably still the biggest news of the day, the biggest news of the year. And what does that say? Statement by Anthony Fauci, MD. I am announcing today that I will be stepping down from the position of the Director of National Intelligence of Allergy and Infectious Disease and Chief of the NIAID Laboratory of Immunoregulation, as well as the position of Medical Chief Advisor for President Biden. I will be leaving these positions in December of this year to pursue the next chapter of my career. Oh, fuck. Man, that was hot. It was hard. It was hard. I can't really do a good Fauci impression, but if I was doing a Fauci impression, that would be the impression that would come out, because I wanted to sound nasally, throaty, annoying. My name's Fauci. You know, like, just awful. Make it awful. But yeah, Fauci, he's quitting, bitches. Fauci's quitting early. Remember when this old fool said that he was going to be out? Oh, if another president gets elected, I'm out skis. Well, it seems that he's not even going to be waiting that long. He decided to skate addle. He's getting out of town rather quickly. He's getting out of town rather quickly, which I thought was pretty funny. So by the end of this year, by December, he's gonna be out. He does not want any more time. He was like, dude, it's been an honor to be a part of the NIH, but I'm done. That fucking Trump and all you bastards out there tweeting at me all day, it's taking its toll. Oh, shit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure a bunch of you guys out there are really happy. There's a bunch of people out there with Fauci bobbleheads that feel like he's abandoning them. So, I mean, there's probably weird feelings all around about this particular one, but I feel like it was time, you know? This guy really bungled the AIDS response. He didn't do his best during the Ebola and the Zika, and then there was the whole Roni situation that happened. And I mean, after everybody was told to do all that crazy bullshit, and then they came out and told us completely different, opposite shit that people were trying to go from the very beginning, and it's just, I don't know, man. Fauci, congratulations to you. Did you know that Dr. Fauci's gonna be making $350,000 a year on the taxpayer dollar after resigning his commission as a part of all of this? $350,000. And like I said, that's coming out of your taxpayer dollars, my friends. So I'm sure you're all going to be real happy about that. I'm sure Fauci, the Faucinator, is super happy about that because, I mean, he's just going to be living, dude. He going to be living. And honestly, I don't know what is wrong with Fauci. I mean, I heard that we had the whole monkey Apocalypse going around, and I'm not sure what the is. And whenever I say it nowadays, I'm just gonna do the monkey thing. So whenever the is out there and people are getting it and stuff, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. You know, I think that, you know, I think it's weird that Fauci's abandoning us in the middle of the pox, but shit happens, bro. The shit happens. And maybe they got some other, like, new person that's going to be really better. Because I haven't, you know, I've heard that he's resigning, but I haven't heard, like, who they're going to put up in his place. If that person's going to be important or whatever. We just don't know. All we know is that good old Dr. Fauci is resigning. And guess what? Yep, he's going to be collecting $350,000 a year of your taxpayer money, and I know you guys are super excited about that shit. Now, you super excited about that. That information comes from Rahim Kasim. Yes, Mr. Good old Rahim Kasim. Yeah, which is fun, I guess. I mean, you know, it's whatever. I don't want to get the pox, but you know, some people are gonna get it. I heard that it's only a small subsection of the populace that is really truly having to worry about it, but you know, just to be safe, whenever I go outside, I'm wearing a condom now, a full body condom, just to make sure that I don't get shit. Yeah. So it's fine. Some of you guys wanted to jail Fauci. Other guys of you wanted to pay him $350,000 a year. Either way, everybody fucking wins. You don't have to talk about Fauci anymore. He's not going to be around anymore. And, I mean, now you can all get back to talking about Trump like you like to, you know? Everybody likes Trump, right? Like, everybody's all about Trump, dude. Everybody's all about Trump. WikiLeaks. Oh, that's probably for later, actually. That's definitely for later. What's this right here?
Dr. Fauci, the idea that a government official like yourself would claim unilaterally to represent science, that any criticism of you would be considered a criticism of science itself, is quite dangerous. Central planning, whether it be of the economy or of science, is risky because of the fallibility of the planner. would not be so catastrophic if the planner were simply one physician in Peoria. Then the mistakes would only affect that physician's patients, the people who chose that physician. But when the planner is a government official like yourself who rules by mandate, the errors are compounded and become much more harmful. A planner who believes he is the science leads to an arrogance that justifies, in his mind, using government resources to smear and to destroy the reputations of other scientists who.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hot take. What if we made Rand Paul the new director of the NIH? What the fuck? What? Boo! What if we did that shit, man? I think he could do it. Although I don't think he'd want to drop down on his senatorial duties. But just a little reminder of how hard people were grilling Homeboy back in the day. Back in the day, indeed. Now, I guess what's the thing? Oh, Brie Larson. She put out a good picture earlier today. You can see them chi-chis. Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, that's pretty much, I guess, it. Right? That's pretty much it for that bullshit. But we have some other bullshit to talk about, get into, cover while we have a little bit more time for our live. And that's probably kind of interesting because I was like digging through emails. I've been digging through emails like crazy. That's why I got these glasses, so that when I'm like, looking through the emails and stuff, I look waspy as fuck, and like people are like, well, nobody's watching me do it because I'm just like doing it here by myself, like to no one. But I feel waspy as fuck wearing these glasses. Anyways, and I felt like if I needed to be like a hacker man, I had to have hacker man style glasses. You know what I'm saying? Because allegedly, I hacked these emails. That was the word, one of the words on the street that I was hearing from some people. But that's not actually what happened. That's not actually what happened. What's actually been happening is something a smeet bit different. I decided to start utilizing my Substack because I felt like, if Jim Stewartson and all these other shitbags can do it, I can fucking do it too. So yeah, you can go check out defango.substack.com. I figured it would be easier to use Substack than just put it on my own website and shit. And there's a method to my madness because I hear that Substack is a great medium to use in order to write a book. So I've been scheduling out posts over the last couple of days that have kind of started us into a very interesting soiree. It's all about exposing what we found out about the Cicada 3301 organizations by going through emails, right? Because we all know that I got a big honkering inbox full of a Google inbox that belongs to a guy named Richard Miller. And throughout these emails, we get to see his indoctrination into the Cicada 3301 organization in 2015 and basically what happened after that. And it goes step by step, email by email, word by word that was actually being said around the time so that we could get a better idea and understanding how this sort of operation works. And specifically, we do have a shitload of emails that are coming from Mr. Thomas Schoenberger and Mr. other guy, like stuff that basically talks about their ideas on how they were going to push forward and what was going on in 2015, 2016, and even what's been happening in 2017, my friends. And it's getting pretty crazy all of a sudden, because what we find is that if we start picking up the pieces and putting them together in a very in the right way, the only way that they can be put together, because this is an investigation that isn't me bringing in anything that's outside of what was said, right? I'm posting the emails verbatim, exactly how they were being said and in the dates and times that they were being said. And then going back and expanding upon what we understand now. But ultimately, we're going to be going through all of 2017, 2018, 2019, and I believe some of 2020 because that's how far all these emails go up to. And we're going to get a pretty much unadulterated look at how the Cicada 3301 operation truly does its business, number one. And we're also going to see in their own words how things were going, who was a part of the organization, names, dates, times, when they were introduced to who, so on and so forth. It's going to be a pretty great time, I think, because a lot of people have had a big question about what's happened since the original Cicada puzzles came out, right? Some people are saying that, oh, the new puzzles are fake, and some people are saying, no, the old puzzles were fake, and then some people were saying, oh, no, they've been the same people the entire time. But we're going to find out, brass tacks, all the way down, exactly what happened, because right now, from what we've been showing people from the newsletter, we've basically discovered in 2015, Richard solved a reported Cicada puzzle that was mailed to him, and that's how he joined the organization. But all of us, or most of us that have been around for a while, have already taken a look at the email that Richard has from 2013, where he's actually requesting a puzzle be signed by a Cicada 3301 member. And it's strange because if Richard was introduced to Cicada 3301 in 2015, as these emails and everything else states, then how on earth was he able to access that email in 2013 and then actually send out proof that he was the one that was creating those puzzles back then as well? It's such a conundrum. It's almost like Richard was always a member of Cicada 3301, and part of his job was to figure out who was behind infiltrating his entire operation. And lo and behold, some stupid fat asshole named DeFango comes up and fucks everything up! Yep, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So now, it's cool because my most recent post actually kind of goes over 2015 and we get a video, and a lot of you guys might actually remember this video because it was a pretty popular one back in November of 2017 that covered a winner of the Cicada 3301 puzzle named G. But wait a minute, isn't Richard Miller the guy that goes by Z? So we had Richard Miller solving a puzzle in 2015 and getting inducted into the organization. But then we also have another solver who claims to have solved the Liber Primus and who claims to have been a part of it. And his story sounds eerily familiar to exactly what's going on with Richard Miller. But what we all know is that G was not Richard. The voice isn't the same. It's not his thing. And he's come forward and said, no, that's not me. That was a different person. And there has been a guy that's been hanging around calling himself 3301 Ghost or something. And maybe Ghost is the person that was behind this. I don't think that we'll ever know. But eventually we might. But clearly, this was another individual, another person that was associated with Thomas Schoenberger that decided to leave the organization, yada, yada, yada. Even more so when we look at what's happened, or when we look at what happened in that particular, time frame of things, this is before I ever showed up to the scene. This is before I ever knew about this stuff, but we found some pretty interesting information. Thomas Schoenberger was using Cicada 3301 to recruit new individuals for his puzzles. And then those people were doing what? I don't know. Maybe running Pizzagate? Maybe running all the other psyops that were going on the boards at that time? Because what have we found out over the years through other people's expert investigations on Mr. Schoenberger? Everything that we learned from me. We learned that Thomas Schoenberger was huge into Pizzagate in 2016, and he was feeding multiple different YouTube channels. Tracy Beans, Titus Frost, Arturo Tafoyeski, all these different people. Allegedly, well, Arturo's actually not in there because he didn't show up till later, but, all those other ones, yes, they were. He was feeding them information for Pizzagate, and he was getting them viewership, and he was using what? He was using 4chan to do it, right? the same 4chan, the same style of image board that is now being used by the QAnon people. And even farther, now Thomas Schoenberger is directly connected to Jim Watkins, the guy that basically everybody is saying is behind QAnon now, or at least his son. So I think that we finally get ourselves the most clear picture as to what was really happening, whether it had to do with this Pizzagate situation, or how FBI anon, QAnon, CIA anon, Trump PP tapes, the Seth Rich files, all this shit ends up culminating, coalescing together. And this stuff is very, very spicy because I think many people don't realize that we have more coming through, you know? And it's even stranger. This is one that actually hasn't even been published yet, but I figured I would put it up because it gets into the heart of things, like WikiLeaks Vault 7, because everybody remembers there was some weirdness going along with the Cicada 3301 puzzles and the Vault 7 drops, and now we actually know, or at least have an understanding as to what's going on, because allegedly Thomas Schoenberger had prior knowledges to these releases. And in emails that are coming out probably in the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to see Julian Assange's phone number. We're going to see Thomas claim that Julian Assange was a Cicada 3301 recruit. And now it kind of makes a little bit more sense, because somehow Thomas knew the day before the leak was going to be going out that it was going out. And even more so, we'll see exactly what they did to actually work it all into the puzzle. And it's strange to me to think that, you know, many people haven't really seen this whole thing, because during that time, the puzzle was really totally associated to like chaos and creation and overthrowing the governments. So I think we might have a little bit more to think about as we're coming through on this one. But, you know, we got a lot. We have a lot that's out there. We're just going to leave them available for people to go in there, look at, and whatnot. If you guys want to, like, you know, join the Substack or whatever, you're totally welcome to do that. But we're not going to be sitting here begging you for $E, although I could really use your money right now. But then again, everybody can use it. Everybody else's money couldn't. So it's here, it's gonna be there, and right now it's building. Because, I mean, did you know that Thomas Schoenberger had a connection to Sam Esmail, the creator of Mr. Robot? Well, now I got email proof where Thomas was discussing and having Discord with Sam Esmail as early as December 8th of 2015. So, interesting. And what does Sam say? Oh yeah, I'd like you to work with my composer. Let's figure out how to incorporate this into some of our music, the Cicada 3301. Oh yeah, dude. That would be like super cool, bro. Yeah, dog. That shit was very cool. But think about that. Think about that. Think about that. So what we're starting to discover is that, you know, Thomas does make big lies, but when it seems that Thomas is making a lie about an individual, he's actually telling the truth, right? What we've figured out with Thomas is that it's the details that are fuzzy, but, you know, he'll be honest. If he says that he was in front of this person at this time, or he knows of this person, or he's met that person one time, you know, he fucking knows him. He fucking knows him. But yeah, look at that. The 2016 clues for 3301 will be released on January 5th. They will only deepen in complexity. Would you like to have Mr. Robot be a part of that? Hey, let me forward this email over to Richard to just show him how fucking cool I am, guys. Yeah. Cool. You may wonder, or be asking yourself, but why? Why would you do this? And the answer is, why not? We've done it for ourselves, right? We've been this transparent for ourselves, so now we're just going to take transparency to the next level. Because to me, all of this stuff, when you read it, it is like reading a screencast. It's like we're reading them putting together the sources of some epic movie or an epic comedy that nobody ever understood that they needed. And I believe that there's a lot of people out there that require these things, because I have sent these out to so-called journalists and researchers who can't even fucking open the goddamn things up or understand what to do with them. So now I have to do the hard work of spending the time out of my busy day to go line by line and assemble the actual story for you, which is cool. Yeah? Very cool. If you think about it, it's like, who's TS working for? I don't know. We don't really figure that out, but for all intents and purposes, it seems like he's still working for himself. He's just a con man in a bigger mystery that encompasses a whole lot of different, really, really big, high-up Hollywood-style people, which is very strange to me, because it's always been more Hollywood, Rolling Stone, media than it's ever been about privacy. And then that's the thing, is Cicada 3301 is about privacy, and it's really funny that I'm doing this whole Cicada 3301 expose thing while exposing that privacy. The privacy, this is the guy that made up Cicada 3301, but he's using a fucking Gmail address to do all of his bullshit. It's comedy. It's really fucking funny if you really, get into it. If you get into it, if you start thinking about it, how it's done, you're going to be all like, they did all this shit on email. They didn't even have a goddamn instant messenger. They were fucking emailing each other back and forth. Which is funny. I mean, it's just funny, dude. It's funny. And it's funny because throughout these emails, you're going to start picking up on some facts, like, solvers in 2013, solvers in 2012 were not being very, very upfront about their understanding of who this guy was, and were only really just trying to save their cool-ass accomplishment on the internet, and they were trying to keep it away from a fat, stupid guy like me who's not trans and into being a fucking weirdo, when they don't even understand is that I've always been a bigger weirdo than them. And everything that I've done in my life has been at least 100 times cooler than anything that they've ever done in their life. And I didn't even have to try. I just had to show up. Which is crazy. This is going to assemble a lot of connections for people out there. People that are not me, which is good. It's for you, right? This is for everyone else out there. And most importantly, it's for those people that are currently surrounded by Thomas Schoenberger and all of his bullshit, all these Q-tards and all these QAnon people, so they could see the true reality of what this guy is. And there's nothing that he or she or anyone else could do about this particular situation in the way that it's being done, because it's just going to be a book, man. Just going to be a book. Y'all are just characters in my life right now, and it doesn't matter if you feel like it resembles you too much, because I understand the laws of parody, and I will destroy you in fiction. But this is going to be nonfiction, actually. It's going to get a little difficult, sure, but we'll make it happen. We're going to get it all up there so everybody knows the whole story. And, I can just finally just say, oh yeah, well, here's all the emails, and here's actually what happened. Suck a dick. You don't like it? Don't give a fuck. Not my problem. Not my problem, bitch. It ain't my fucking problem. Never been my fucking problem. But now, you're making it my problem. And you know what? I would have been happy. I would have been so happy to just stay not talking about it for another 2 years, 3 years. But you know what? My hands have been tied. They made me come back into this. So this is how we're going to fight the battle now. And it's not even a battle anymore. I've won. Because this is all stuff that Thomas never wanted to see the light of day ever. And it only gets more and more juicy as the time goes along. And it gets really fucked up in 2018. And it gets even more fucked up in 2019. And shout out to Arturo Tafoyeski, that little Mexican piece of shit. We actually have the emails from Thomas to you when you joined Cicada 3301 in 2018, not in 2016 when you tell everybody and all that shit, which is listed on those interviews and stuff that you did. You just caught your ass in another fucking line, bitch. But yeah, the truth is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when I've bought my time. I've given them all the chances in the world to, put the guns down and do this the right way. Because you know what? I didn't have any ill will against Tafoyeski. I was a little hurt that he, stole some money from me, though. But you know what? It was more money than he'd seen in a long time. So we should have been smart about it. I guess at the end of the day, we're doing the right thing. And I feel really bad for some of them folks out there. They made a lot of friends. They told a lot of lies. And they coming back to haunt them, buddy. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, you wanted to do something about it? Oh! Ugh. I don't know how much they're being paid to tell lies, but I can tell you that it's not a lot. It's actually a pitiful amount, probably. Probably getting paid less than $300. Probably getting paid like, oh, here's like $15 in PayPal. Here's like $10 in PayPal. Oh, Arturo, I need you to keep fighting and being my warrior. I'm going to keep sending you money. Yeah, I wonder who that is. I don't know. That's all in here too, though. And it's all going out. People are going to be shit bricks. But that's okay, Probably should have just followed the agreement, shouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah, Edmond7, Fred Brennan is still, I think, on the Jim W train. Yes, he is still on the Jim W train. And I mean, that train never even got into the station, but he's still on it. He's just riding that shit around until he goes back to the Philippines into jail. What are we really going to do? Nothing. So I guess that's pretty much it. I appreciate y'all coming through and joining us on this little video. I hope you guys go check out the Substack and read your little eyeballs. Read. I don't want to have to fucking tell you. I'm not going to sit here and read all these fucking things to you. You know how many hours it is? It's hours, motherfucker. It's hours. Could be like a whole entire fucking 10-season show. It's going to be crazy. It's got to be fucking crazy. And with that, I bid you farewell. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all the folks that came into the chat and said something or whatever. We appreciate y'all. Share it with your friends, and then we out. I hope you guys missed us, and I have no idea when we're going to be back, but you will know when you see us live. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day.